Hello, Prealgebra students. Welcome to Lesson 56. So, if nobody else is going to say it, I'm going to say it. Mixed numbers stink. If there is nothing else or nothing worse in algebra than decimals, it is mixed numbers. In algebra, we tend not to use them. In fact, the only real purpose that mixed numbers have is to teach elementary children the property of division. Let's move past elementary math and let's get into some algebra. So, when we have mixed numbers, the first thing we need to do when we are trying to do some type of, let's say we have this problem here, 56.1. If we have 2 1/3 times m equals 5, the first thing we got to do is we got to get rid of this mixed number. We want to keep an improper fraction in algebra. We do not want to resolve it to a mixed number. It has no point. It has no purpose. We can't really relate it to m. So let's turn this into an improper fraction by multiplying the whole number times the denominator. So 2 times 3 is 6. And now we have to add that back to what's in the numerator. So that'd be 7. So 7/3 times m equals 5. Now we've already been over how to get rid of a fraction that is being multiplied times a variable. And all we do is we use the reciprocal. We multiply it by the reciprocal fraction. But if we do it to this side, we have to do it to this side. And we turn this into a fraction to make it easier for us to see by just putting it over 1. That's how you can turn any whole number into a fraction. So now, this would be 21/21. That equals 1, so they cancel each other out. But then this becomes m is equal to 15/7. Isn't that nicer? It's just so much nicer to have that. We do not need to change this. Leave it an improper fraction. That is the answer that we want. Because now if we need to add or subtract or multiply or divide that number at all, it's already in the form that we need it in. We don't have to take it back out of the mixed number. So in algebra, in summary, we prefer an improper fraction to a mixed number. Mixed numbers stink. Let's do 56.2. All right, we have, see, this is why mixed numbers stink. This is ugly. Oh, this is ugly. 3.5 times k equals 4 1/5. What the heck are you supposed to do with that? That's just all a bunch of gobbledygook. So let's put it into something that we can understand. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So 7/2k equals 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 is 21. I mean, seriously, when I look at a mixed number, that's what I have to do in my head every time I want to try to solve it or distribute it. I have to break it back apart. So, let's get rid of mixed numbers. Down with mixed numbers. We're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to get rid of this fraction next to this variable by multiplying by the reciprocal. 14/14 cancels out. It's 1. So those cancel each other out. And then that would be k here. But we have to do it times the other side too. 2/7. Make sure you use the reciprocal, not the original. And we get 42/35. Now, we can reduce this fraction. Can you see it? I can see it. These are both products of 7. We know that 6 times 7 is 42. So if we divide this by 7, we get 6. And 35 divided by 7 is 5. So we get 6/5. This is the answer we want right here. Always reduce if you can. We'd rather have an improper fraction reduced so we can actually see. I mean, that's an easier number to work with. I mean, let's just be real. So reduce it if you can. If you can't, like in this situation, that's fine because that's as far as we can go with it. We don't have to work with it anymore. You know what? That's all we have for this lesson. That's it. That was such an easy lesson. I would recommend that you do all your practice problems and that you really take a look at them. And if you are still having a little bit of a struggle with these mixed numbers, let me know and I will help you. But all you're going to do is you're going to take the whole number and you're going to multiply it, however you want to do that. Let's use parentheses. The whole number, right? That's a sign for number, times the denominator plus the numerator. And all of that goes over the denominator. All right? And if you don't know, the one on top is the numerator, and the bottom one is the denominator. A way to remember that is that denominator sounds a lot like denomination, like in bills, like in money. So if you had a denomination, let's say you had $200 and they were in $10 bills, right? Then you would know that you had 20, because you would divide. You have 20 $10 bills. You see how that works? So think of denominator as denomination of money, of bill. It tells you the size or the value of these parts up here. All right. That's all we have for lesson 56. So I will see you guys sometime this week and again in lesson 57.